Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough, America's favorite golf podcast, right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim, and that guy over there, PGA of America member, Mr. Johnny Gerber, live from his Fort Worth FanStream Sports studios. We got to get a sponsorship for your home studio.
We got him. Look at the background. I think it's tailor-made and Cypress Point and everything. It took me way too long to fix this just because of the it's just a lot. But hey, buddy, how are you? I haven't seen you. We haven't done a show for a while, and every time I see you, we're moving as opposed to doing a show.
The only time Johnny ever calls me to come over is when he's moving and
hang it. No, not true. I asked you to come to hang TV. That's right. Hang a TV. Hang a TV is right, not just moving, but. Been off for a few weeks. We had a little break in the golf, which is well needed, a little break for us, but we kind of got settled here in Fort Worth, and hey, it's good to be back on the air and talk a little bit of golf.
I don't know that anybody really cared to talk about Scotty Scheffler winning anything again, right? Like, does anybody need to hear about that or talk about it?
I mean, how much more, what else can you say that we haven't said, right? I mean, it's just, what do you do? I mean,
is it even news at this point?
It's Groundhog Day. I mean, it's like Groundhog Day, you know. So I heard that. What was that? Cold Miller Lite. You get a Cold Miller Lite?
Johnny, this was one of your
White Claw.
The huge trash bag of White Claws you brought me.
So great.
I got a drawer full of them in my fridge at home, and now we got a drawer full of them here.
I was just in Kansas City this weekend. I went back up and did some teaching and helped out with the tournament, but. I listen. You know me. I've kind of adapted to be a Texan, and Ohio's home. But we had a pretty good in Kansas City. We had a pretty good. You saw that when you came up. We had a pretty good there in Kansas City. The weather was incredible. Yeah, 75 and perfect and sunny. And no, I went up there. I missed it. I was only gone for a few weeks, but I'm going to start going back up a little bit more. But
are you now?
It was just
I'm going to go up there with you because we got to go back to Tom's town and get me Tom'd again.
We talked plenty of those stories. Me and James talked about that the other day. He said, "Does Tim always get that loud when he drinks?" I said, "No, only brown liquor apparently."
No more brown for me, man.
No more brown liquor for you. So no, we've talked a few of those stories on the air, which was great, but. Yeah, great Tomstown. We're getting Tomstown acclimated here into Texas, so looking for a great partnership with Tomstown. Except for you, no more brown booze for you with Tomstown.
Not right before I go on the air. It's probably idea.
Or go outside, or wake up,
or go to Johnny's Tavern.
Or any of those things.
Those poor people at Johnny's Tavern aren't going to let me back in ever.
Oh, they remember when I was in there. I was like, "Who's the loud guy that told us that they loved that he loved us?"
Maria's never going to want to see me again.
I said, "That's my buddy." He's like, "Okay, good." Well,
the peanut where I embarrassed myself.
Yeah, they said he lives out of town, right? And I was like, "Yeah,
way out of town."
I said, "Yeah." I said, they were like, "Thank God we couldn't handle him if he lived in town." So it was good.
Damn right they couldn't. Nobody can.
That's right.
They can handle me. Well, we do have some golf, Johnny. It's kind of the round 2 of the FedEx Cup Fall, as they call it. It is the PROCORE Championship. And while it's not really, we're going to treat it like a regular golf tournament because I still don't really know why we do I know why we do the FedEx Cup Fall. I just don't know that a lot of people care except for the guys trying to make it in, right? Trying to get their signature event exemptions for next year, right?
Well, there's still stuff to play for, right? It doesn't really matter. I mean, still 125 and things like that. So there's still things to play for some of these guys. So yes, it is still a PGA tournament. If you win the tournament, you play in the Masters. It's not, it's not a mini tour event. It's a real tournament that these guys are playing. Yes. Yeah, it's a big deal. They've changed sponsorships over the last few years, but it is at Silverado with Johnny Miller hosting if he's able to walk, or who knows with him. But a great golf course.
Out there in Napa, right? Like the weather's going to be nice.
Yeah, the weather's nice. The wine is good. And, you'll see you'll see on our card a little bit later the guys that are out there for some wine and the guys out there to play some golf. So maybe a little bit of both.
So yeah, there are some recognizable names here playing in the fall. Some guys that we follow quite a bit, some guys that we like. But let's set it up. You mentioned it. It's at Silverado Resort, the North Course there in Napa. It's a par 72. Thank God. 7,123 yards. And Johnny, not the purse that we're used to seeing because it's FedEx Cup fall, but still $6 million that these guys will split after the 72nd hole if there's no overtime, of course. But as we mentioned, it is the second edition of the FedEx Cup fall at Napa. The 2024 PROCORE Championship returns to Silverado Resort and Spa once again. It's an eclectic field filled with veterans, young guns, and President's Cup participants even. Some recognizable names that we'll mention during the show: Sahith Theegala, Max Homa, my boy Max Homa, who struggled mightily last year, by the way.
Because he's messing with you. I mean, you guys he's following your lead. He wants to be you, I think, and do things you do, like booze and all that stuff. And I don't just think it bodes well for him. He
needs to stop slapdicking around with me and start playing golf again.
I agree 100%.
Wyndham Clark's here this week as well. We know that Theegala and Homa have combined have the last 3 PROCORE titles between them. Which will make Silverado a strong warm up here as the Americans hope to play itself into Royal Montreal after having learned some hard lessons at the Ryder Cup. We don't really talk about that anymore, but well, you and I do because we think it's funny.
Yeah,
it's fully expected by us. We sort of predicted that Ryder Cup debauchery. Theegala and Clark have made their way to East Lake Golf Club for the Tour Championship. Max Homa, of course, hopes to find his form after being chosen as the captain's pick by Jim Furyk. Was that questionable for you at all that Jim Furyk's the captain?
No, his pedigree seems to work. I mean,
kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I mean, Furyk has played in so many Ryder Cup teams. He's a leader. I mean, he really is a leader. So,
I like Jim.
Yeah, those guys like playing for him, and all the success that he's had in terms of playing the Ryder Cup major championships, playing. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. As opposed to Keegan Bradley was still the weird captain's pick for next year.
Right.
But no, there was nothing with Jim Furyk that it really even surprised me. And Keegan Bradley being on the team this year, they relieved him of his duties in terms of a vice captaincy. So I thought that was a pretty good play on their part. And I don't really need any more coverage of Keegan Bradley, as we know he's not really one of my favorites. So
he's not.
He's just too weird and quirky for me. I mean, it's you are who you are, and I can certainly respect with that, but. Dude, you're weird.
Just kind of weird and quirky, right?
Yeah. So, hey, man. No, I don't get it. But, he's from that Northeast area, man. It gets cold. You never know what they do. What's that movie, Fargo?
Yeah. It's not the Northeast. That's just the North.
It's kind of similar. That's just weird. I remember, I'll tell you a funny story real quick. I remember playing in the Vermont Open. So they had a cool little stretch of golf in the summertime. You could play it was right as I turned pro, first year I turned pro, get some pro experience, and you played
on the mini tour,
some state open. So they had like the main open, Bangor Open. They had a tour up there that was really good, and it was easy to travel. So the Vermont Open was kind of the first event, and it was the middle of June. So it was June 20th or whatever, and I had the first tee time in the morning. And this golf course is extremely difficult to walk,
right?
And I had the first tee time in the morning at like 6:50.
Yikes.
And this is the middle of June, and it was snowing.
Of course.
It was snowing in the middle of June.
Did you have to play with an orange golf ball?
I did not do that, and I still won't do that, nor yellow.
Why?
No. For what? Why?
It's just a golf ball. Why? Who cares what color it is?
So did I tell you the story I played in Vermont Open when it snowed?
And you played with an orange ball. Yeah, you told me that.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
I don't understand your hatred for the colored golf balls.
I don't need to. I know where my golf balls are going. I don't need them to be colored to see if I can find them or see them in the woods. Like,
is that why you have a shelf full of them right now?
but they're not yellow or orange.
I know they should be. You know what? I'm going to prank you. I'm going to go replace all of those with orange balls.
You know, I have so many golf balls. It's because I don't lose them. That's just the way it is. I don't
play
lose
golf
them
anymore.
That is true. Also, that is true. But that's going to change. The weather's too hot. The weather's starting to get good here in Texas. So we're going to play
cool right now here in Dallas. Like we got a little rain here today, and then into the Dallas area. I don't know what you had down south of Fort Worth, but it cooled it down to about 72 degrees. It's been in the low 60s at night. I've been having my window open in my bedroom. It's been cool outside.
I was up this morning like I always am early. I was up about 5:30, and it was 67 here, which was like I open up that 67 feels like it's an Arctic blizzard compared to what we've had lately because it's been so hot. But this is a good time of year. I don't think we're going to hit too many more hundreds, bro, to be honest with you.
And I don't know.
And the humidity's kind of went down too. That's the thing that I like. Like, I don't know why it is, but there's not really much humidity.
Right.
That we've had like a month ago that was just impossible. I forgot how hot it was.
Humidity kills you too. I mean, it kills everybody, but you're especially
messes my hair up.
All the humidity
messes your hair up too, doesn't it?
I just shaved it. I'm like, screw that.
I know.
I don't need it anymore. Johnny, the PROCORE, we talked a little bit about Max Homa. He endured a horrible back half of the season last year. Had trouble off the tee. He has since parted ways with his swing coach, Mark Blackburn. He did call me and say, "Hey, Tim, can you help me with my swing?" And I said, "Maxie, baby, I love you too much to do that to you." I wish I knew somebody that was a good golf coach that I could hook you up with that could get your swing right. But I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Yeah, the guy's got too many golf balls in his closet for sure is not the guy, right? That's
the guy that won't play with an orange golf ball.
Yeah, he's out.
Right, he's out. Do that. If he lived closer, I would have given him your name, but he's Dallas.
That's an interesting move. I didn't hear that. I don't know where you got that from or caught that from, but that's an interesting move. Max, not to get too much in the golf side of technical talk of the golf swing, but he has a very interesting swing. He stays posted really hard on his left side and rotates. So club never leaves playing, which I'm a huge proponent of. But that being said, to find somebody that, change is good, right? Sometimes I think this is going to be something that Max got to kind of figure out himself, and then we'll eventually go back to Mark Blackburn. Maybe this is something maybe take a playbook from Max what Jordan Spieth needs to do, to be honest with you. I think a different voice is always good. Not saying you're telling anybody something different, but it's just the way you communicate and come across could be really something that he picks up on. So, hey, listen, if it works for him, we're all for it. But I think that, Mark Blackburn's built his golf swing. I think just a little change of pace will be good, and then probably go back to him like more Coward did with his coach.
It's still shocking to me that Jordan Spieth hasn't made any changes yet to his staff, his coaches, to literally anything. Like, it's just going to fix itself.
I certainly don't think he's going to get rid of Greller. I mean, his caddy, I think, is going to be a constant. But I think, like I said, Cameron McCormick, I'm a big Cameron McCormick fan. He's great. I just, when you hear that voice, Jordan's 33 now? Was he 32, 33
Something
now?
Like that, yeah.
When you've heard that voice for almost 20 years and never kind of steered off, as he's been working with him since he's 14. Sometimes, man.
Jordan's 31, yeah.
Sometimes, that gets stale. If you eat, as much as, you love steak or whatever you love, if you have to eat it every single day, it gets old. And, and
that's why it's hard to be tied down to just one woman.
Well, that's next show, but certainly understand that's why we go back to say that you certainly have a whole basketball team.
Well, some are like redheads some days I like brunettes, and some days I like all three. Just saying. On the other side of the aisle, representing the international team at PROCORE are Mackenzie Hughes, Corey Connors, Minwoo Lee. Unlike Connors, Hughes and Lee have more than just form to play for here in the fall, as they've both missed out on the top 50 that qualifies them for the signature events in 2025. They enter the week at numbers 52 and 60, respectively. Hughes and Lee hope to remain inside the next 10, which is the top 10 players in the FedEx Cup fall, who will ultimately qualify for the first two signature events of 2025. You've got amateur Luke Clanton. He returns to the PGA Tour. and hopes to be contending once again alongside the budding superstar, Johnny. We like this guy, Michael Thorbjornsson. I just like to say his name.
You didn't do a very good job saying it, but
Thorbjornsson.
Okay.
You have to emphasize it correctly. Michael Thorbjornsson.
If you ever see, he looks like a linebacker playing football. playing golf.
Right.
He really does. he's a big, strong guy. He's been touted for a long time. He's been, he's just one of those guys. Yeah, it's going to be great. We talked about this a lot. The talent on the PGA Tour with these young guys, especially with the PGA Tour University coming up, getting some exemptions. The tour's in a very, very good place when it comes to that. But you're going to see, I really like what they're doing, is see some of these younger guys get this time of year getting some of these starts. This is a bit what this time is for also. It's just not for the big names. It's for some of these guys to get some starts, get in that top 125 potentially. There's a lot of value and a lot of work this week off, President's Cup, and then doing Vegas, and then that 2 or 3 stretch that you're going to get there. That it matters, man. It matters. There's not everybody on the PGA Tour is not the Rory McIlroys and the top guys that you see all the time. There are the grinders. Those are the guys that are just going out there to try to keep their card.
Also, Maverick McNeely, Eric Cole, Patrick Rogers, and Bo Hostler are among those searching for the first career PGA Tour victories out in wine country. You may hear one or more of those names when we get into our picks at the end of the show. That's what we call a tease in the radio business, as we'll get into those. But first, Johnny, we have to pay some bills, so we're going to take our first break of the show. Coming up after the break, we'll talk about the field, the odds, who we like, who we don't, and then after that, of course, we'll get into our specific picks, my comedy picks and Johnny's winning picks. It's all coming up right here on From the Rough on FanStream Sports.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the temperature, ensure your home is totally secure, all from the palm of your hand. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Start by going to the website, GetStarPower.com. That's GetStarPower.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Tom's Town, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka. Named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tom's Town, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? It means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to turflifeclub.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories and go over there to that website, which is turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness. And his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch McKinney.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
You know Volvo's reputation for building beautiful, long-lasting cars. Well, Crest Volvo Cars, located at 121 on the Tollway in Frisco, has over 300 brand new Volvos at terrific prices. And there's also that hard-to-find low interest available. When you're at Crest Volvo, say howdy to General Manager Mike Brusen. Then test drive your favorite Volvo. Crest Volvo off 121 on the Tollway in Frisco.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That is Johnny, the Gerb man Gerb, from his new Threads, his new studio down in that South Fort Worth area of Texas. As we've got possible hurricane tropical storm stuff coming through here the next couple of days.
But they didn't already go wet. It went already east. It went east. I think it's
I know, but we're supposed to have some of the after effects of it as the little low pressure system swirls around us.
We'll take the rain. Trust me. In the golf business, this time of year in Texas, we want the rain. We'll take it. We'll take it. The retreat where I'm kind of making my home now down in Cleburne, Texas. You were out there, about a month, 3 weeks ago. We needed the rain. And if you saw it when you first got there to see it now, boy, it's just incredible with that. You'd be shocked how green it is and how beautiful it is. So looking forward to get you back out there in the next couple of weeks, and we'll definitely tee it up.
I want to come out and hit some balls. Well, they'll just play on Monday when it's closed, so that way nobody can play with me and watch me.
Well, it's closed every day. We get 20 people a day, so it doesn't. I think we're good.
Doesn't matter.
I think we're good. They use a lot of yellow balls out there too, because there's a lot of trouble.
Orange ones.
Now it's orange.
I'm going to use my.
Listen, I got a bone to pick with you. First off, before I forget,
just one.
Well, on air.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go.
So first off, congratulations to you to be the Golf Bachelor of the Month for
Golf Central Magazine.
Golf Central Magazine. I just saw that. And the article was fantastic. But when it says down at the very bottom, people you admire and you like to be like, where's my name?
Well, I thought that was common knowledge. I didn't think I had to say that in print. Like everyone knows that.
Not to the 3 million people that listen to that magazine, like that reads that magazine. I mean, I thought we were better than that. I told Shannon and Terry I wanted to put my phone number on the article, and they wouldn't let me. I said, can I just put my phone number there next to my picture? And she was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Hey, it's like that time when I put my phone number on air. Colby looked at me in the green and was like,
what are you doing?
Ever do that? Yeah.
Now everybody's going to go back and listen to all of our shows until they find Johnny's phone number, because it's out there.
It's like, and that was like one of our, like, I was just into it. And I was like, he's like, that's the first rule ever. Don't ever do that. I was like, okay.
Felt like we didn't have to say that. Like, I felt like that was common sense that you didn't do that.
I was desperate at the time. I was like,
I was like, what's he doing?
Yeah. But you would think that as a good editor, as a good producer you are, you would beep those out like on every
It's a
other
live show. I can't beat stuff out on a live show. I don't have a dump button like a radio station.
Well, okay.
Probably need one of those out the way we've been talking.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Colby needs a dump button.
We got it. We need to definitely push that in there sometimes.
We'll get it done. Johnny, for once, and I can't remember when the last time, but someone named Scotty Scheffler is not the favorite to win a tournament this week.
Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, it seems like, thank God he only plays 19 tournaments a year, right? Because he'd be the favorite every week. Kind of the Tiger Woods scenario like he was before, but
so sick of Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, no, you're not going to see him for a while. Next time you'll see him as President's Cup. So, and I don't know what he's going to play again in terms of like the rest of the year. He might go to, play a international event or something like that. But I mean, with the exception of the President's Cup, I don't foresee him playing anything else till the end of the year.
Dude, and he pissed me off on X. I sent it to you. You never did respond to it, but I know you read it. With his post on X
about pickleball,
where he goes, I know you guys have all been talking about how much money I made this year, but good God, y'all, diapers are expensive. I'm like, shut the F up, you effer. Shut up.
It's not a good look.
Diapers, look, I had for about a 6-year period, I had 2 kids in diapers at the same time.
Are diapers expensive?
Yes, diapers are expensive, but not when I was making $80 million that year, however much he made this year. I don't want to hear about it. You're not endearing yourself to the common man, sir. God, there's more of a pressing issue. We hadn't really talked about it and hadn't been on the run sheet because we just don't do run sheets. We just fly from the cuff. But kind of
Monday is going to be an interesting day. Tiger Woods meeting with the Saudi investment group for $1 billion. So that's going to be an interesting talk on Monday. When we talked about it, I think there's certainly going to be a mesh of product that PGA Tour certainly needs it, especially this time of year to get some star-studded people in there. Yeah, I think they're going to have a merger. I think they're going to have some events. The Live Golf put their schedule out for next year. I think there's going to be a merger that's going to
leave some holes in it. Like usually you can tell if something like that's anticipated if they leave some holes in it, somewhere. But like I don't even know how to look up Live Golf tournaments. Is it even online? Can they afford a website? Does Live Golf
There's one in
have
Dallas.
a website?
There's one in Dallas. What, next week?
This week? I don't know. How do you know? How do you know there's one in Dallas? How do you find that information?
Because it's on Live and it's on commercials all the time.
I've seen zero commercials about Live Golf.
I've seen a lot. They use orange golf balls, yellow golf balls. But that being said,
they wear shorts and they only play 52 holes.
That'll change if they're going to get. There's going to be, obviously Tiger Woods wouldn't go there if it was a waste of time, right? I mean, so this just goes to tell you something is moving forward. It's not like the whole group is going over. I'm sure Jay's going over for whatever reason, but when Tiger goes over, there's something going to get done. And there's
Tiger going.
Well,
he's head of the do with any of this.
He's the head of the policy board now for the PGA Tour.
When did that happen? He doesn't know anything about policy. You know what Tiger's most important policy is? What chick from the diner to take home? That's his policy.
That's old Tiger, man. Tiger.
I don't think he still thinks like that, dude. You never change those stripes. No, you.
100%. He does, but it might be Waffle House now instead of Denny's. I mean, you got to mix it up.
I hope he never changes. That's my favorite version of Tiger.
Those mug shots are just great. I love them. Cocktails are good.
They're so great.
Cocktails are good. Hey, everyone out there, listen. Do not drink and take meds at the same time. It doesn't work.
Who said that? Why would you say that?
Well, that's what happened to him.
Well, I know, but we didn't mention it. Now everyone knows. I think that was a
common knowledge. It's not a secret. Stop.
Yeah, nobody knows that Tiger does drugs.
Vicodin and vodka, the two V's, doesn't work together for the most part.
Whatever. I have powdered Vicodin that I put in my vodka. What are you talking about? It's the best kind.
Tells me everything I need to know.
I just call that my protein shake.
Yeah.
Vicodin and vodka and some
with
cream.
Blackberry White Claw.
Is that what I'm drinking? I don't even know what flavor it is. I just drink whatever you buy.
Those are good.
They are pretty good. So Johnny, the favorite here, not named
Scotty Scheffler,
is Sai Thigala at 11-1. He is the defending champion. He returns with a wave of form behind him. He finished third in the 2024 FedEx Cup. He posted career highs in terms of total strokes gained, strokes gained off the tee, and strokes gained approach. His ball striking took a nice step last season. His short game was shakier as usual, though. If he cleans some of that up, then he has a good chance to go back-to-back like Homa did 2 and 3 years ago.
Yeah, he's got the type of game, certainly getting prepped for the President's Cup. I think getting ready for the President's Cup helped him getting picked or being on that President's Cup team. I think it's going to propel him for certainly being on the Ryder Cup team next year. So this is a good springboard for him. California guy, so he's used to the grass. I just don't like his odds, defending champ. So, you won't see him on our card, but certainly if you want to pick a winner for Pride, he's not a bad pick.
No, and I like his form. Like I mentioned a little bit there, he's got good form. All last year, he had a really good year. And I think good things are going to happen to him coming up next year. Second on your odds, Wyndham Clark at 12-1. Kind of an up and down season last year, but as far as the people who were in the field go, he's I don't have a problem with him being up there in the odds too much. Corey Connors at 14-1. I think he had kind of one of the more underrated seasons last year as he put together his best year with his irons, but he failed to qualify for the Tour Championship. He was consistent last year, but, he had struggles around the green, and that sort of hurt him in the long run, I think. But if he can figure some of that stuff out, and no doubt Johnny could help him with that, then he's got a good shot here, not just in the fall, but coming up next year. What are your thoughts on Corey?
Yeah, you said it right. It's kind of an underrated year. Didn't really contend that much. We had him on our card a lot to finish in that top 10, top 20 spots, but he didn't really kind of threaten to win. That's his bugaboo. He's one of the best ball strikers on the PGA Tour, voted every year by the guys. And you watch him on the driving range, you'll see it. But if there is a little downfall on his game, is certainly his short game and his putting for sure. So, this week is a little bit different. If you look at his 2 wins, he's won on Bermuda grass, which is extremely strange coming from a guy from Canada playing golf at Kent State, used to that bent grass. So for him to win down in Texas in the Bermuda was very strange. But also on the good point is that, his game travels well. It doesn't really matter where it is. So going out there, maybe getting a little bit of comfort, playing on those Poana greens like he's used to in Canada and in Ohio where he played at Kent State. Maybe a little bit home cooking. I don't know how much he's, I think these guys that are playing, that are getting used to getting warmed up for next week, I think that's what it is, right? For the President's Cup team. If they're in contention, will they win? Yeah, potentially. But these guys are always going to grind. But I just think it's kind of a warm up potentially for the President's Cup in a couple weeks.
Coming on at 16-1, the amateur Luke Clanton. He's back on the PGA Tour following a run at the U.S. Amateur that saw him qualify for match play before getting bounced in the round of 32. While on the PGA Tour, he looked kind of like a pro. He had a top 5 finish at the Wyndham Championship, runner-up result at the John Deere Classic. He's got plenty of power, and he could threaten as the second amateur to win in less than a year.
Yeah, it's a quirky golf course. It's one of those golf courses that, overpowering it really doesn't work. So, for him not to know this golf course, it's a little bit different from the other places that he's had some success. So isn't it strange? He can't even really get to the semifinals of the U.S. Amateur, but he's won over $500,000 on the PGA Tour, probably if you go through all of his starts. So, it's very strange. It just goes to show how many good players there are out there when it comes to golf and amateur golf. But I think length is going to hurt him because he's so long off the tee. I just don't think that he knows the golf course enough to take advantage of his length.
Max Homa, my boy, Max Homa at 20-1. He hopes for a little home cooking this week as he was dreadful at the end of 2024. Without a top 20 finish since early May, the 6-time PGA Tour winner struggled mightily with the big stick in his hand and was ultimately unable to qualify for the championship. The driver was his biggest concern, but his irons and his putter weren't much better. The good news is, though, Johnny, he's got 3 straight top 10s in Napa, including victories in 21 and 22, and hopefully something good is happening to him here on the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the California guy plays well in that type of scenario. I just don't like the form he's going into, really. I mean, maybe sometimes when you go to a place that you're comfortable with, it's a get right week, right? You kind of your lines, and it's stress free and winning there before and things like that. So maybe this is what he needs to get better, to kind of get his game maybe catapulted for the next few weeks. I really think, honestly, I don't think Max Homa is a superstar, but he's certainly a star. There's a difference between the two. I think you're going to look at that guy who's going to probably play a little bit more than some of the other guys that are stars on the PGA Tour for a few reasons. I think he's for his standards, he's had a lackluster year. I think with the swing changes potentially that he's going to make, or getting comfortable making changes with a swing coach, he just wants to see it in play. He wants to get on the ground running for next year. So look at maybe Max Homa to play a little bit more than most of the guys, the stars on the PGA Tour in the fall.
Coming in at 22-1, Johnny, your future brother-in-law, Min-Woo Lee. The Australian's first full-time season on the PGA Tour featured a lot of good but not great golf. He captured a couple of runner-up finishes, but those were his only top 20s on the season. He tacked on 7 top 25s. He seemed to live on the third page of the leaderboard thanks to the strong driving acumen and nifty short game, but he needs to take a step with his irons if he expects to contend on a regular basis on the tour and solidify his spot in some of the signature events. What do you think about your future brother-in-law here?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird with him. I mean, if you look at this time kind of last year, he was kind of that up-and-coming rising star. We forget he's still young. What is he, 23, 24 years old? So he's certainly had more success overseas, but getting acclimated, playing a little bit here more, getting used to the golf courses, he hasn't had the year that I thought he'd have, especially coming off a year last year. But certainly a great guy. I think they can pair him with anyone on that team. I think this has catapulted him. If you don't know much about Min-Woo Lee, he's certainly a character. And if you don't know much about his sister, I'll give you the invitation to our wedding here pretty soon. So, we'll get both of those, and they do live in Dallas, Texas. So that is something that's
got a hypothetical scenario for you, Johnny.
Yes.
Your phone rings. You don't recognize the number. You answer it.
I would never do that. So go ahead.
Hey, this is Johnny. How can I help you? And it's Min-Woo Lee's sister. What's her name? Minji Lee? Minji
Yeah.
Lee. She says,
can we keep it PG, please? Can we keep it PG?
I was going to
Nancy's watching, so let's keep it PG.
I wasn't going to say anything bad. I was going to do a really bad fake Asian accent, and I decided that would probably be a bad idea. No, probably. She says, hey, Johnny, it's Minji Lee, and I've heard you talk about me on the show, and that other guy you're on the show with is way cuter than you, but I know that he doesn't date girls like me, and I know that you're sort of into that. And before she finishes her sentence, you hear a beep, and there's another number calling you. So you say, give me a second. I'll be right back. And you click over. Hi, Johnny. This is Colin Morikawa's wife. Whatever the hell her name is. I heard you talk about me on the show, and while that other guy's way cuter than you, I know he's not into girls like me. So I was just calling to see if there's any chance maybe we could get together for a drink later. And you're like, hang on just a second. And you switch back over to Minji Lee, and she's like, I would just like to get together for drinks sometime. Like, what do you say? And you can only pick one. You have to tell one no, and you have to tell one yes. And the other one you have to give to me.
Well, first off, you know me way too well to even ask this question, because they can't just be one. We already know this. So certainly the most hypothetical question you've ever asked in your life. That being said, I mean, you went through this whole soliloquy about this, and you already know the answer. There's just not one. I mean, thank you, but no. I mean,
they're not going to both go out with you. Only one of them is going to go out with you.
You have to explain it to the both of them. Say, listen, here's the deal. And if they don't like it, then there's neither.
So then so that's your answer is neither. You're going to pick neither rather than just one of them.
Sure.
Okay. Cause then what's going to happen is then they're both going to call me.
And ask for my number again. And ask if it's okay to call me again on the side.
And I'm just going to lie to them and go, you're the only one. I picked you. And then I'll tell the other one, I picked you. And then we'll just not ever see each other at the same time. And I'll just live my life.
Yeah, well, that's, So what a great hypothetical question, certainly. But the answer you got was not even. It's not. You don't choose. You don't choose when it comes that. You let them choose.
Well, I tell you who you should pick. You should pick Minji Lee because she's going to make her own money for you. Whereas Colin Morikawa's wife just lives off of his money. So when she leaves him, that money goes away. But
Well,
Minji Lee's going to make her own money.
I look at the other way because it's certainly from Colin Morikawa, I'm certainly a huge upgrade. So that being said, I'm a little higher in her eyes.
Where did you finish in the FedEx Cup standings this year? I forget.
Who said it had anything to do with golf?
I'm trying to bring it back to golf.
Thank you.
Because that's all that matters.
Right.
Johnny, Matt, getting back to golf. And our odds here. Maverick McNeely at 25-1. Cashmere Keith Mitchell at 30-1. JJ Spawn. I have to say his name like he's an old-timey baseball player. JJ Spawn up to bat. 40-1. And then Eric Cole, who you might hear a little bit later.
Great pick. Not on my card, but
40-1, by the way. So Eric
sounds like
Cole.
He's on your card.
Could be on my card, but which one is he? That's the question we'll find out, as well as whose Johnny's picks are to win the 2024 ProCorE Championship. We'll get to that after the break, right here on From the Rough on FanStream Sports.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions is tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show. Today's show is brought to you by Tomstown, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka, named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tomstown, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
In 1993, Bob opened the original Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon Avenue. 32 years later, the original Bob still greets you at the original Bob's. And now his sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch has opened in McKinney. Same fantastic beef and fresh seafood at these two Bob's, each run by the Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Hello, folks. Let's talk a little bit about turf life. What is turf life? It's pretty much if your life involves turf in any way, shape, or form, you live the turf life. Go ahead and brand yourself with the turf life. Maybe a back window decal, maybe a hat. You know where you can get those kinds of things to showcase that your life revolves around sports and or anything that involves sports. If it's a sports business or sports education or just your enjoyment of the outdoors, head over to turflifeclub.com. Become a turf head. Join the club today. You can do that by going to that said website that I just told you to go to. You can snag your window decal like I was talking about, or any of your other turf life accessories. Show everybody that you live the turf life, and we'll see you there over there at that turflifeclub.com.
Crest Infinity in Frisco. Through the end of the month, you can lease the 2024 QX60 pure front-wheel drive for just $499 a month for 36 months. You bring $44.69 due at signing and drive away. And it gets better. This month, when you lease the new QX60, Infinity will cover the tax. On approved credit, 5s to choose from. See dealer for complete details. Expires 8/31/24. Also, you can get a $15,000 incentive on all remaining in-stock 2024 QX80 models with more than 30 to choose from. Get on out to Crest Infinity to test drive one today. Off 121 in the Tollway in Frisco or online at crestinfinity.com. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the temperature, ensure your home is totally secure, all from the palm of your hand. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Start by going to the website, GetStarPower.com. That's GetStarPower.com.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to FanStream Sports. We are from the rough. I'm Tim. That's Johnny. Wrapping things up for you on a Wednesday, previewing the 2024 PROCORE Championship out in Napa, California. Wishing good things for our friend Max Homa.
Are you a wine drinker? We haven't really talked about this.
Love
Are you
wine, dude. I love a good wine.
Yeah, I mean, I like wine. I do like wine. I don't know, I'm very transparent. Like, I like what I like. Like, I don't know if it's $100, $200, $300 bottle or if it's $5. I don't know. Yeah. Like I don't get into it like that.
I know a little bit of that, and I learned that from my most recent in-law as well. Before the father-in-law passed away in 2009, they were huge wine drinkers, him and the mother-in-law, and taught me quite a bit about wine. Went to some wine tastings and stuff, and some wine education classes, and I learned the basics and stuff. Kind of learned what I like and what to look for and how to smell it and let it breathe and all that good stuff, enough to make it look like I know what I'm doing. But dude, I love going to dinner and pairing a good steak or good fish or good meal with the right wine, man. To me, that's a great experience.
I was gonna tell you. So at the retreat, we have a massive, great wine locker. We have we have one or two bottles of Pappy. So it's a super high end place, but it's not wine. But that being said, so our medium service wine, which is still expensive is Silver Oak and Caymus. Mm-hmm. That's not even our top high end brands. I'm like, well, I've had damn Silver Oak and I've had Caymus, and it's pretty much about as good for me that I like. I don't need to spend any more than that for what it is. And it's that's what, a $30 glass of wine. I mean, so I thought that was fantastic. So, but going every year out to Pebble Beach, one year I stopped in and I stayed in we flew into San Francisco and went up to Napa, and I did some of those wine tours. And those are fantastic.
They're great.
But I'm like you. When you start drinking the brown, I'm like you when it comes to the wine. I was like, man, you get all them red lips and you get all messed up and, it gets all messed up. But I do like it. I don't like the morning after because all the sugar that gets me. I mean, I feel it's a bad hangover for me. But I certainly nothing better than having a nice couple bottles of wine and having a nice steak or whatever you like to have.
Yeah, for sure. And man, if you think you've seen me drunk on brown liquor, wait till you see drunk Tim on red wine.
No, I've seen you drunk on brown liquor. Yeah, so
I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the red wine it's probably a little step above that.
Well, let's not.
I just don't like. I mean, I don't drink enough wine usually to get drunk like that, right? Like I'm not just sitting there drinking it all night. I'm going to sip on the wine. I'm going to enjoy it with what I'm eating. I'm probably not going to just sit there and drink wine while I'm watching the game or something, right? To get drunk on it. It's more of an experience thing for me than it is trying to feel good on it, like with beer or liquor. So, but I do. I've never been out to Napa. That's a trip that's on my bucket list to go out there and visit all the wineries. Mario Andretti's got a really good winery out there. Francis Ford Coppola's got a winery out there. I want to go out there too. Both of their wines, by the way, are excellent wines. Coppola's got a great red wine series. It's really, really good. So, wow, look at that. You got wine talk. right here on FanStream Sports.
You just never know what you get here. This is why the show is so great. You just don't know what you get.
We need to get Colby on here with some wine talk. He knows quite a bit about wine too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As long as you don't drop that. Okay, good.
We'll beep him out if we have to. Well, Johnny, it's everyone's favorite part of the show because it's the part that you make them some money. And that's what it's all about. Before we get into your picks, your money-winning picks, let's get into Tim's for fun comedy picks. We'll get our music going here. Because, Johnny, my dartboard picks, we said Eric Cole was going to show up on the card. And he did, because I've got Eric Cole at 35-1 is where I found him as my winner. Why do you like Eric Cole? Because you said thought it was a good pick.
Top 5 there last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of that guy that just likes to play a lot of golf, and in a shorter field with not a lot of superstars. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he had a really good finish to the year. He struggled through most of it after having a great rookie season. He struggled a little bit last year, but he salvaged it late in the year. He had 3 top 10s in his last 7 starts. So he found his putting stroke and solid improvement on his approach game. If he carries those 2 things back into Napa, I think he should contend again. So love me some Eric Cole here. For my top 10, Wyndham Clark at plus 160. Not a huge value. I just had to put Wyndham Clark on mine.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. What way to make some money, right?
Well, I'm not making money with these picks. I'm going to be right with these picks. That's the point.
Way to pick favorites, like always.
That's right. Yeah, because Eric Cole's a favorite. How about Matt Kuchar? How about Matt Kuchar at plus 240 in my top 20?
He loves his wine. Be careful.
He's probably going to stiff his caddy again, but
loves his wine.
He does love his wine.
He does.
You know, and his year last year, he's going to be remembered for his antics at the Wyndham Championship. But don't forget about his play there. He nearly played his way into the postseason with 3 top 25s in his last 4 starts. He had a podium result at the 3M Open, where he just had a brilliant weekend from tee to green. He had a pair of top 15 finishes under his belt in his last 2 tournament appearances. He could get back on track, just like Stuart Sink did a few years ago, and he could win another PGA Tour title, Johnny. My Matt Kuchar top 20. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, is this not, prototypical Matt Kuchar playing in a lesser field event, being a personal human ATM machine? This is just what he does. It's just what he does. And I don't blame him. Listen, all these guys are good, but he's had success there before. It's a trip that he'll take his family out. He'll get drunk every night and off wine and go shoot 15 under.
Which I could do that.
Won't really contend. He'll just kind of slop his way around the place and, kind of do what he does.
Wish I could do that. It's not fair.
No, you do, but just in different ways.
Johnny's picks brought to you by Tomstown Distilling Company. I got to get the title right. Tomstown Distilling Company.
Still having nightmares, huh?
Dude, I love that place. Yeah, I already.
Oh, this is the coolest place. Cool. When I saw James this weekend, I was in Kansas City. Like we talked about, that's one of the coolest. It's creepy. My hair is. If I had any hair on my arms, it would stand up. But I don't have.
Really? Why do you think because it was dark?
Because there's a lot of ghosts in there.
That's okay. Ghosts are friendly. Just be nice to them, and they'll be nice to you.
There's certainly ghosts in there.
They're more scared of you than you are of. Oh wait, that's cockroaches. Never mind.
That's snakes.
Ghosts and snakes are definitely not afraid of you. I hate snakes. I'm more afraid of snakes than I am ghosts. Just for the record.
Too.
And spiders. Spiders and snakes could not exist on the planet, and it can be too soon for me. Like they have no purpose for me.
Fair.
Brought to you by Tomstown Golf Central Magazine, where I'm the Bachelor of the Month. And also, of course, Turf Life and Orion Golf, pioneers of golf facilities management. Johnny, tell us about your picks.
After a few weeks off, guys, we're back on track. There's so many good events, so many opportunities to make money here. We're just under $7,000 in net profit, 53, 28, and 6 on our matchups. We haven't, like I said, we've taken some time off, but that's what we need to get a little bit refreshment. We got this week, got a week off, and a lot of great matchups to go into the President's Cup. So looking forward to these next few weeks. First pick on the board at 22-1 is Maverick McNeely kind of home cooking for this guy, right? I mean, he knows these golf courses better than anybody growing up in that area, going to Stanford, hasn't won on the PGA Tour, but it's a good opportunity with a short field at 22-1. I like him. JJ Spawn, 33-1. Again, you look at the trend that I'm going with. A lot of California guys out here, a lot of West Coast guys, old school type of golf course this week, and a lot of Poanya greens. So that's going to pay big favors to guys that are California guys like JJ Spawn at 33-1, coming off some injuries. I like him in his spot, good value. If this was a 54-hole event, Bo Hostler would be the number one pick on the board, but it is 72 holes. Bo Hostler has led the PGA Tour many times with a 54-hole event, but doesn't seem to capitalize in 72 holes. 45-1. I really like him. I really like him at 45-1. California guy. Ham sandwich pick this week. Guy who's always played well there. Brendan Todd, 50-1. Todd. If you guys know anything about the Mel Kiper, Todd McShay bit, that's a great time. Great thing to listen to every time we put Brandon Todd on our board. 50-1, I like him. Solid, consistent player, not going to make a lot of mistakes. So I think he makes plenty of birdies to get there. Top 10 picks this week. Tom Hoagie, plus 425. Kind of that guy that's going to, again, like Brandon Todd, not going to make a lot of mistakes. Hasn't had a great year, but some value there at plus 425. I don't know if he has an opportunity to win the golf tournament because he hasn't been in that spot so many times, but at plus 425. Like him there in the top 10. Mackenzie Hughes at plus 500. I think Mackenzie Hughes is motivated to prove that he deserved that pick on the Ryder Cup team. He's a solid guy. Again, not a lot of mistakes. He's not my favorite guy in the world. Listen, you must know I really like him in this spot at plus 10, but in the top 10 at plus 500. He's not really my type of guy, but I think he's going to play well, getting ready for that President's Cup team. 2 top 20 picks this week. Harris English at plus 225. Again, injuries coming off some injuries. I like him in a spot, shorter field in terms of superstars, but I like him at plus 225. And our last pick on the board this week, finishing in the top 20, Andrew Putnam at plus 335. West Coast guy, plays great in these type of scenarios. Had some kind of in and outs this year, had some success, but I like him in this spot at plus 335 to finish in that top 20.
There you go. There's Johnny's winning picks for you. Make sure you check in on those and place your bets wherever your favorite online sports gambling betting scenario situation place is. Wherever it's legal for you to do so, please go do that, and we will follow up those. Look out for some matchups on Saturday and Sunday morning. We'll check in with Johnny, see if we've got those for you. Big show today. We had a lot of people tuning in and viewing today. I want to thank everybody. If it's your first time joining us, we're here almost every Monday and Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central. And we usually go for about an hour, including some comedy and some dumb, unsketched stuff that we usually throw out there.
You never know what you're going to get. You want dating advice. You want relationship advice. You want food advice. We got it all.
We had wine talk. We had wine talk today. How about that?
How about that?
But what you will never hear on this show is straight golf talk, because that's not what we're about. We'd like to throw some personality in there with it. That's why we're from the rough, not from the green or from the fairway or from the tee box. That's that other show here in Dallas. They can have that bit. But we will be back on Monday with the recap of the ProCorE Championship and talk about all of that great stuff, talk about Johnny's bets, follow up on some of that, and talk some more about the world of golf. If Johnny's got more information on the Tiger Woods meeting with the PIF, then we'll probably talk about that too. And maybe he'll update us.
Solheim Cup. I'm going to talk a little Solheim Cup maybe on Monday.
Okay. Whatever you want to do.
Week.
Yeah, no, I know that's happening this week. I'm probably going to be watching more of that than I am the ProCorE Championship. I'm just saying.
Yep.
It's what that Rose Zhang's out there playing in that. I got to keep up with Rose.
You don't stop.
What? I like Rose.
She's calling you right now. There she is. As soon as you say her name, there because she's calling
Rose
you.
Is calling me right now. I don't know why she's calling me. I already broke up with her once. I don't know why she's calling me again. But that's going to do it for us today, boys and girls. We'll be back on Monday with another From the Rough. Until then, y'all keep hitting them straight.